Hello YouTube, welcome to the channel Vortex Gaming. Let's run some Mythic Plus dungeons in World of Warcraft. Today we are going to be running the Vortex Pinnacle, level 14 as an Arcane Mage. The weekly affixes are Tyrannical, Storming, and Raging. I'll be doing my best to give a live commentary of the dungeon run. If you're into that kind of content, feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel. So it is a Tyrannical week, so that looks like our tank has called for Hero or Lust on the first and last boss of the dungeon. So we're going to play it relatively standard up until the first boss. Just use some basic burns on these ads over here. Nothing too fancy. We do want to step out of that pressurized blast though, or else it will knock us up into the air. Alright. We do have to watch out a little bit for the tornadoes this week. But other than that, it's a fairly easy week, I feel like, for Mythic Plus content. And I have already done kind of my runs for the week. Ooh, that was not good. But you know what? I do have slow fall. I thought I had an extra kind of charge of shimmer, but I did not, so I couldn't blink out of the pressurized blast in time. But you know, that's fine. I think we'll go ahead and we'll use a cooldown on this pack. That's totally fine. But like I was saying, this is a fairly easy week for Mythic Plus dungeons. And I have gone through and done all my vault runs for the week. So I'd figured I'd take it a little bit easy, do some practice on this dungeon right here, because I know that on Fortified Week some of the trash mobs in this dungeon can be a bit rough, and I do want to get some practice in before the reset later today. I am doing this a few hours before the weekly reset, by the way. So this is definitely one of those pulls where you may want to use some cooldowns. Looks like my main cooldown Radiant Spark got deflected by the shield on this guy. So that kind of ruined my my burn phase a little bit, but you know what, it's fine. It is a Tyrannical week after all, so I don't think that's going to make this pull that much more difficult for me. If you are unaware of how Arcane Mage works, basically your rotation has two phases to it, your burn phase and your conserve phase. The burn phase is the thing I just botched on the last pull, but I can actually show it to you again. Basically you put Radiant Spark on a target, you throw in a barrage, and as the barrage is traveling you hit a Touch of the Magi. And you want to cast 4 spells including that barrage, or I should say 5 spells including that barrage, since the Radiant Spark is buffed by your next 5 spells on the target. And the idea is that Radiant Spark and Touch of the Magi both give you burn windows to do as much damage as you can to the target. And then once the Touch of the Magi falls off your target, you go into the conserve phase, which basically just use your spells in such a way that you have enough mana for your next burn phase. I feel like there should be enough guides on YouTube if you want to learn more about like the details of the actual spells and the actual spell priority you'd use for your this is kind of an awkward position for me. I do need to turn around, make sure that cloud guy isn't popping up. But yeah, there are enough guides on YouTube where if you want to learn Arcane Mage in more detail, you can do that. I think the important thing here is to just do the mechanics properly and not die. Also, I don't want to get knocked into the boss early. That would be bad. Looks like we are pulling though, so we'll go ahead and pop lust like they wanted. We'll go into a burn. I think this should be good. Okay. Make sure lightning bolt has been interrupted. Oh, I forgot to interrupt lightning bolt that time. There we go. Go ahead and hit shifting power to get some of our cooldowns back. Alright. Doesn't look like we have an augmentation evoker with us right now, but that's fine. I think our DPS should be good enough. Alright, we'll get the interrupt. Alright, so we'll be looking to hit evocation in a couple of seconds now, since our mana is running a little bit low. Okay. Oh, I actually don't have evocation yet. I'm going to have to wait a little bit. You know what, we'll hit the mass barrier, make sure our team survives this. In case they need it. And you know what? I think we will save actually our cooldown here, since I know our next pull, we're going to have a pretty big next pull when it comes to the trash mobs right after this. But this is going to about do it for this boss, so let's go ahead and give ourselves a slash cheer and move on to the next one. And now we're starting to get to the part where we've got some trash mobs that can be a bit of a problem during Fortified Week. Alright. I think we'll wait for our monk to pull everyone. And then we'll go into a burn. It's good to have some interrupts for this back, so that you can interrupt all the cloud bursts at the same time. Alright, so I know for a fact that these guys have this ability called Vapor Form. If you are a mage, you can actually spell steal Vapor Form in case you know, your teammates don't interrupt it or anything. Alright, looks like he is pulling the dragon. We're going to go ahead and head over to this green well over here. We do want to be standing in here. We also want to be using our major cooldowns on the dragon if we do pull it. Alright. Okay, so we actually did not need to use Alter Time, but the idea would be if the dragon points his breath toward the people in the green circle, I would pop Alter Time, blink out of the green circle right before Chilling Breath goes off. And so the idea is that we can use Alter Time to teleport ourselves back into the green circle so we don't lose too much health, since the icy, I think it's Icy Buffet, puts a damage over time that can really only be healed through if you are in the green circle. Anyway, after the first dragon, there's kind of some leeway on how I've seen a lot of the tanks pull the trash mobs in the next part of this dungeon. Some tanks will flat out skip the second dragon right there, right behind this group of ads that we're pulling right now. And some tanks will be perfectly fine with pulling that dragon for percentage. So here I typically don't like to use my biggest cooldown, which is this Arcane Surge here, unless I know for a fact that we're going to be pulling that big dragon up there. Right. Since I do want I do want my Arcane Surge ready to go in case we are popping Lust on boss number 2 up there. Okay. Oh. Okay, Vapor Form actually got interrupted, so I was not able to spell steal it. Maybe I can spell steal on this guy, yeah. So Vapor Form actually gives me 90% damage reduction, which is pretty good against these ads right here. Also, I think I'll save my cooldowns for the next pull. Okay, so we will be skipping this dragon. Then we can actually go ahead and use our cooldowns for this pull right here. Alright. That one also seemed to have a Vapor Form. I was unable to spell steal in time, but I think this will be okay. Okay.
I don't have a target.
And I'm actually also using the talent that gives me personalized hero. And if I do use hero on this boss, I will definitely have it up for boss number 3, so it's not that big of a deal if my debuff disappears before I get my thing off cooldown again. Before I get my time warp off cooldown. Alright. Blinked a little bit too far forward. Okay. I don't think I'll have blink up in time. Actually, you know what? You can blink through this. So my blink just came off cooldown right before it passed me. And so you can actually use blink to go through that ring right there. Right? Okay, winds have shifted. I do want to move over here so that way I can benefit from the haste during my burn phase. Alright, rings are out. We're going to go ahead and blink through this. Actually, we're going to do it right now so we can get in position to benefit from this haste buff. We're also going to sidestep the chilling breath. Okay. We're going to want to come over here.
I need more mana.
Let's go ahead and hit evocation, get some of our mana back. Alright, we can blink over. Then let's go ahead and go into a burn. And we'll kind of walk to the side. We'll blink back in. Oh, okay. I don't think that's aimed at me. Nope, it's not. Alright, we're going to want to blink over here. It looks like this is going to about do it for boss number 2. Let's go ahead and give ourselves a slash cheer and move on to the last part of the dungeon. So I think it's going to take me longer, or it's going to take us longer than 3 minutes to get through the trash mobs here. So we should have hero available for the last boss of the dungeon. Alright. We'll interrupt the rally. Alright. Right, I like to put a focus on Minister of Air so that I know if he is targeting me for Lightning Lash. He is not here. So we're going to go ahead, stand outside of the triangular pyramid over here, or the tetrahedron, whatever it's called. Yeah, it did look like he was in the triangle, but you know. Okay, it's targeting Shaz. We'll just stay out here. This will be fine. We also want to hit Shifting Power to get some of our cooldowns back, since we did use Arcane Surge. Alright. Yeah, dying in this part of the dungeon is a bit iffy, since there is a long walk back. Even with the teleport at the beginning of the dungeon, that takes you to kind of downstairs where we just came from. Alright, remember to reapply your buffs if anyone dies and reses. Okay, I think we want to focus the Temple Adepts. They do have a healing. Okay. Yeah, let's interrupt the Greater Heal, that should be good. Where's the other Temple Adepts? Okay, rally has been interrupted. We're going to go ahead and set a focus on the Minister of Air. And I think we will target Executor of the Caliph. We'll use a Dragon's Breath just to interrupt anyone that might be casting something we don't want. We do have Raging happening this week, so actually Dragon's Breath doesn't work if your target is below, I believe it's 30% health, yeah. So that's just something to watch out for. If you do need to CC a target, you might not be able to. You might have to, you know, kite the target instead. Okay, we are being targeted with Lightning Lash, so let's walk into the pyramid. And then he is overloading it, so we'll go ahead and step out. And then right here we have one of the few shortcuts in the whole dungeon. We can hit Slow Fall, so we don't lose any health while we're down here. Actually, let's go ahead and interrupt some of these stars to kind of mitigate the damage coming out of them. Okay. And now we're in a position where we can Lust on Pull, which we'll go ahead and do. And we'll go right into a burn. Right. The ad should come out right after the burn. And we'll go ahead and target the ad. I do want to focus set on the boss, so that way I can see static cling when it comes out, for example right about now. Then after we jump for this, I'll go ahead and hit Shifting Power to get some of my cooldowns back. And then we're in a position where we can run over to where the triangle is going to be, and then we can stand in it. And as we're over here, we're actually right in time to do our next burn. We can go into it. Okay, let's blink out in case he targets us with Chain Lightning. Alright. Should be looking around. Okay. Nova is out. We do need to target it almost immediately, since on Tyrannical Week this can actually be kind of an issue to deal with.
I need to target something first.
I'll give some supplemental barriers for that. That might have been not a great idea since now I have to wait, you know, over a minute and a half to get it again. And maybe, I mean, we might need it, we might not, who knows. A static cling. Okay, we're in the air. We can blink over to where the triangle is going to be.
I need a target.
Okay. You know what? We'll do a burn on the boss. Okay. Skyfall Nova is out. Okay, so luckily I was up in the air. I think I got hit up, or got knocked up by a tornado. And actually we can just focus the boss right here and this should about do it for the Vortex Pinnacle, plus 14. We'll give ourselves a slash cheer. Thank everyone for a clean run and even congratulate them for beating the timer. And of course we are an Arcane Mage, so the common courtesy is to give everyone a portal back to the main hub of the expansion. And that's going to about do it here for this video, so if you liked what you saw here, feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you want to see me run a specific dungeon during Dragonflight Mythic Plus Season 2, let me know in a comment down below which dungeon you'd like to see me run. Hopefully I can get around to posting a VOD of that. Anyway, that's going to do it for me here, so I hope you all had fun watching, and I will see you all later.